On today's live daily news, 2 shootings in North San Angelo, a shocking end to the Cristin Bradley trial, and a look at this weekend's weather. Plus, the COVER1 cruise tour across the Concho Valley comes to an end with coaches' interviews from San Angelo Central and Lakeview. All this and more. I'm Matt Trammell, and this is Live. But before we get to the news, summer is coming to an end, and what better way to celebrate than with a huge shrimp boil. But don't just go with those scrimpy shrimps at the supermarket. Instead, go down to 455 South Oaks this weekend and meet the boys from the Matagorda Shrimp Company. Today and tomorrow, the crew will be selling fresh Gulf Coast shrimp by the pound. Captain Rawlings will be there from 10 to 7, so go see him, have a shrimp boil this weekend, and post your photos on SanAngeloLive.com. We start the show today with updates on the 2 shootings that occurred last night in North San Angelo. Around 6 o'clock yesterday afternoon, San Angelo police were called to the intersection of 19th and Brown Street for the report of a shooting victim. Once on scene, police discovered that several vehicles were involved, and one of those cars had the back window shot out. Officers did locate 2 victims, and they were transported to Shannon with unknown injuries. Police did say they have a suspect in custody, but have not revealed the identity of the shooter at this time. Then, at around 8 o'clock, another shooting took place on a cul-de-sac in North San Angelo named Paisano Place. Their officers located a 17-year-old female with a gunshot wound to the teen's back. She was taken to Shannon and was unfortunately pronounced dead. The suspect, a 16-year-old boy, was taken into custody after fleeing the scene. Police have not revealed what he has been charged with. Police don't believe that these shootings are connected. They will continue their investigation into both of these shootings, so if you have any information, contact Crime Stoppers immediately. Moving into the courtroom, the Cristin Bradley trial wrapped up on Friday with a guilty verdict and a lengthy sentence. For the past 2 weeks, the court heard from countless witnesses, testifying Bradley had played a major role in the death of 2-month-old Brixley Lee. After deliberating for nearly 6 hours on Thursday, the jury came back with a shocking not guilty verdict to the original charge, but did find her guilty of a lesser felony injury to a child charge. This morning, the court reconvened, but in another shocking twist, the 2 parties agreed to take a plea deal, sending Bradley to prison for the next 11 years. Bradley's co-defendants Dustin Smock and Destiny Harbor are still awaiting trial. Once it's their turn, expect those trials to be covered as well. In another crime story that made headlines today, a San Angelo couple has been indicted after being caught graffitiing a local elementary school. 21-year-old Hector Gonzalez and 19-year-old Justice Guthrie are both indicted in July after drawing dirty pictures and dirty words on Bradford Elementary with a Sharpie. San Angelo police were made aware of the incident after a school resource officer from San Angelo ISD showed them footage of the 2. Gonzalez was identified as he'd been seen before picking up a student. Guthrie and Gonzalez did about $15,000 in damages to the school. Both arrested and booked back in January and were later released on a $7,500 bond. In the case, marking graffiti on a school as a state jail felony and carries a possible punishment of 6 months to 2 years in jail and a possible $10,000 fine. And for weather, as we look into the weekend, it's looking like it's going to be a hot one. Currently, the Concho Valley is in a heat advisory, but by Saturday, conditions will rise into an excessive heat warning. It's expected to be hotter on Sunday, so expect that to be extended into next week. During these extreme heat days, make sure to take care of any animals or children while they're outside. It will be extremely dangerously hot for those guys. There's no rain in the forecast today, but of course, to stay up to date on all the weather in the Concho Valley, tune in every weekday to the live daily news show. And finally, the COVER1 tour across the Concho Valley comes to an end today with stops at both of San Angelo ISD's schools, Central and Lakeview. We'll get to the crew in a second, but first, here's a word from the Bass Bunch.
Demo sale on our luxury SUVs at Jim Bass Ford. Like Ford Expedition, with seating for 8 and loads of cargo space for all your stuff. And when your stuff needs towing, it offers 9,300 pounds max. Plus available Pro Trailer Backup Assist makes maneuvering a breeze. Ford Expedition, for everything and everyone. Get a 2023 Ford Expedition and get $8,000 in total savings. For this great offer, visit Jim Bass Ford today.
Welcome back to the show. We are doing our tour across the Concho Valley here at COVER1, and we're going to end it this week with head coach of the Central Bobcats, Kevin Crane, and defensive coordinator, Jacob Martin. Coaches, let's start with you, Coach Crane. How are we feeling today?
We're good. Thanks for having us, and we're excited about our new season.
Coach, let's just get into the summer workouts for a little bit. Just talk about attendance. How are we feeling about the overall summer? Of course, 2 days have started at this point, but let's talk about the very end of the off season.
Yeah, we ended our spring training, and it was real successful. Unfortunately, we didn't get to play our spring game because of lightning, and that was disappointing. But we got into the summer, and we've had a good summer. The month of June for us is real structured as far as kids come up, coaches are, there at the stations, and it's real structured as to what we do. And June was really good. We take the week of July off, give our kids a little bit of a break. When we come back in July, it's player led. So our unit leaders, each position has a unit leader, and those guys are in charge of leading the team. And so we feel like July has been productive. And, now we're getting ready to kick this thing off. Obviously, our freshmen will start July 31st, and then our upperclassmen, our JV and varsity, will start August 7th. And so that's just right around the corner.
And Coach Martin, first off, it's your first year at Central, welcome to San Angelo type thing. And got a brand new defense coming up, pretty much graduated the entire starting, both on offense and defense. How are you feeling about these young guys in the defense this year?
We're very talented, unproven but talented. And it's going to take some time to get those guys to where they need to be, as far as the playing experience and getting them out on the field to understand what it's like to play varsity football, the speed that you have to play at. It's gonna take a little bit of time to get them to where exactly they need to be, but the future is bright for us with the kind of talent that we have in those younger ranks.
Mm-hmm. And I know we were talking about this a little before the interview started, but let's go over it again. What's it like transitioning from coaching college ball down to high school now?
At the college level, you only have to worry about one team. And here, you've got other teams that you got to worry about with the JVs, the freshmen, down to the 7th grade. That kind of in charge of running the defense and making sure everything's structured the way it needs to be, kind of vertically aligned to get kids ready to play at the varsity level for Central. And a little bit different workload in that fact that not recruiting. Going out on the road, but you're still kind of recruiting your guys and trying to make sure everything's aligned for those kids to be able to help you one day.
Well, again, we all welcome you to San Angelo. So,
thank you.
Let's get back to you over here, Coach Crane. Let's talk about the offense for a minute. Of course, we've already mentioned that graduated a bunch of the guys on there, especially on the offensive line and the quarterback position. We got a couple running backs coming back. We got some decent receivers coming up. Just talk about some of the names that you think are going to be some of the it factors on the offensive side of the ball this year.
Yeah, well, we got several, and that's what's exciting about it is we feel like we got, some good depth at running back, maybe better depth at running back than we've ever had. Javion Robinson, Tyree Browley, those two guys are at the top of the list, along with some other ones that we feel can play running back, and we'll see some time there as well. And then at receiver, names like Alex Lindsey, Malik Cates, those guys, we're really excited about. They're good football players. They got good height, good speed, and they just love to play, and so we're excited about them. And we feel pretty good about all of our receivers, and we got some depth. And those guys, we like to rotate them, and a lot of those guys will get to see playing time, and so that's good. We got a couple options at quarterback with Christian English and Colton Hill. Both of those we feel like we can win football games with, and so that's exciting. And then, up front, we got a couple guys coming back. Junior Califamoni and then our center, Braylon Roundtree as well. Both of those guys saw a lot of time last year, but we did lose 3 seniors off that unit, and we gotta find some replacements there. I felt like our offensive line this spring had a good, productive spring, but you win football games up front. It all starts on the offense and defensive line, and so we've got to develop those guys and get them ready to play, and so that's going to be a big challenge. But again, we're really excited about this group that we got coming.
Love to hear it, Coach. And Coach Martin, I'm going to pose kind of the same question to you, just on the defensive side of the ball. Who do you see is stepping up, being some of the leaders on this defensive unit and producing the most this year?
On the defensive unit, that's kind of yet to be seen. Again, being young, there's some guys that are stepping up. With Cohen Warikala on the defensive line, he's really stepped up to try to lead in the right direction. Abel Ramirez with the linebackers. And then in the back end, again, they're all kind of young and they're just trying to figure out how to lead. And that's one thing that we're trying to get imposed, is how to lead and what it means to be a leader. So
come back after there's been a couple games under the belt, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Coach Crane, let's just get into the schedule. Of course, Little Southwest Conference is still one of the toughest conferences or districts in the state of Texas. It's never easy. All these guys always come to play, but out of all the games this year, is there a particular one that the Bobcats have circled, that the ones that this is the one that y'all want for sure? It could be non-district or district.
Yeah, not really. We want to win every one of them, ideally, and that's the goal, that's the plan. But really, we try to just take it one game at a time. That's really all you can do. You can't really look ahead to your next opponent. You'll get beat, whoever you're playing that week. So we try to focus all of our attention on just winning one game a week. We try to win one game a week, and whoever that might be that we're playing, we got all our focus on them, and we're going to try to win that game. And so we just take it, one step at a time. And it's a long season, and there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, and so our goal is just to focus in on that one opponent that we're playing that week and try to win that game. I went to Texas Tech and watched them I watched them practice right before the bowl game. They were playing Ole Miss, and there were a bunch of signs around their building that had Texas Tech logo, the Ole Miss logo, and it just said 1-0. And so that's really what you're trying to do every week, is just be 1-0.
That was a great answer, Coach. All right. During these interviews, we always get to the end where we always ask more of a fun question at the end. And Coach Martin, you haven't been here very long yet, but I hope that you get to the point where you can answer this next question I'm about to ask Coach Crane. But with that being said, just kind of want to see coming up in coaching, who inspired you to be a coach? What coaching style did you I want to be that guy? And who was your biggest mentor?
I've got a few mentors. Throughout the years, I grew up around some great coaches. So, being around those guys, G.A. Moore being one of them, he really kind of set the standard for me is what it means to be a great coach.
Set the standard for everybody,
Yes, sir. So, being around him every day and just seeing the way he led and inspired players to play at their best all the time was just, one of those things that I was blessed to be around that. So I would say he was really the main one that made me want to be a high school football coach.
And Coach Crane, with you, this is the question that we've been asking. What has coaching in San Angelo taught you about yourself, and what has the San Angelo's community meant to you?
It's meant a lot. Really, it's been my home for 15 years. It's hard to believe that this will be my 15th season as coaching for San Angelo Central, and obviously been blessed. Dr. Carol Ann Bonds brought Coach Davis here, and then I was lucky enough to come with him and get this thing rolling. And but I've been here for a long time. So really, besides my hometown that I grew up in, this is where I've lived the longest. And so this is my home, and it means everything to me. This is our job, this is our livelihood, this is what we do for a living, and it means a whole lot. I've poured my heart and soul into this thing for the last 15 years, and we try to make this the best place in Texas to play football, and that's our goal every single day with our coaches, and that's kind of what we talk about all the time. And so it means a lot, and this is a special community. You come to a football game on a Friday night, and those stands are full, and everybody's got on orange and cheering for the Angry Orange, and it's hard to beat. I mean, it's hard to match that atmosphere. We have kids that graduate from us and they go to college, and they come back and tell us, Coach, it's this playing in college and the atmosphere is nothing like what we experienced on a Friday night in San Angelo. And so to me, that's what makes it special, and it's what makes it a lot of fun to coach here in San Angelo. And we're proud to work here and be associated with this town, and be associated with SAISD and Central High School. It's a great place to be.
Well, thanks for that, Coach. And thank you both of y'all for agreeing to come on and do this for us. And of course, this has been head coach of the Central Bobcats, Kevin Crane, and defensive coordinator, Jacob Martin. Back to y'all.
The young guns at Central have their work cut out for them this season in a super tough little Southwest Conference that features Midland Legacy, Wolfworth Friendship, and Odessa Permian. Just like the Lakeview Chiefs in their district, Chadwick went out to talk to the Chiefs head coach Hector Guevara about Lakeview's chances this season as they return some good senior players like Michael Duran and Ian Cortez. But before we get to Coach Guevara, Intertel is a proud sponsor of COVER1 football. Intertel is a long-standing local company that offers everything you need to keep your home or business secure, safe, and under control. Just like the good game of football, a good defense is the most important thing. Get a free quote today by visiting Intertel.com or by calling 325-658-8375. Now here is Ryan Chadwick.
All right, and we're back again. Of course, COVER1 is doing their tour across the Concho Valley this summer, and today I'm actually here with head coach of the Lakeview Chiefs, Coach Hector Guevara. Coach, how are we feeling today?
Good. Good to be here.
Of course, we're right up at the end of summer. 2 days are here. Let's just talk about the summer workouts for a minute. Like, how do you feel like your program is done this summer?
Our numbers have they've been pretty good throughout the summer. Obviously, we like to have more kids, but the kids are showing up or putting the work in.
And like, is that something that every coach struggles with, or do you think that has something to do with like the bigger the school is, the harder it is to wrangle these guys?
No, I think every school has that same issue. I mean, kids are working, family time. I mean, there's a lot of things happening in the summer.
And of course, Coach, just talking about last year for a minute, of course, had a lot of success in some areas, struggled in others. What were your overall thoughts at the end of last season, moving into 2023 now?
We started off well. We had some kids had to step in early in the season. We lost quite a few kids due to injuries. But I thought we had some success. Our district is really tough. Every game is just it's just a challenge for our young guys that were stepping up on Friday night.
And now, Coach, moving into 2023, let's just talk about your roster for a minute. Who are the guys this year that you expect to step up and kind of lead the charge? The guys who are going to be leaders on both the offense and defense.
I think we got some young guys that are they've had some playing time on Fridays, but not at the starting position. So we're expecting a lot of our skilled kids. Our receivers. I think they're probably our strong point this year. Defensively, we have some kids that are the secondary. The same thing as skilled kids there. So we're excited on both sides of the ball as far as the skill set. We just got to develop the linemen. And our quarterback could be a first year starting on Friday. So we've got a lot of growing to do.
Mm-hmm. And at that quarterback position, what do you think is going to be the biggest area of growth that needs to happen getting ready for that year one?
Mentally, a lot of mental. They just got to be able to handle adversity and understand that every play is not going to be a positive. And so, we got to gather ourselves and just regroup no matter what happens. Negative play and understand that we got to push forward and they got to lead by example and not let things get to them, you know, and not panic and be able to adapt.
And Coach, let's talk about the defense now. You say your strength is the secondary. Of course, that's a great thing going into this kind of district with guys like Lubbock, Estacado, and Brownwood. You know, like where do you need to see the most growth on the defensive side to make sure that y'all can get to where you want to go?
Defensive line, the front five, the front seven. I mean, I think that we got to be able to put pressure on teams. We got to be establishing the line of scrimmage. You know. We got to be able to make the quarterback make decisions that they're not used to, and our secondary can do their job.
Yes, sir. And of course, everyone has a game on their schedule that they've either circled that they're ready for. Is that true with the Lakeview Chiefs as well? Is there a certain game that y'all are just like, I want this team this year?
Man, every game, you know, we try to establish something every game. You know, whether we win or lose, we just want to get better every game, you know, leading into district, you know, and obviously our big game is always going to be Big Spring, but you know, there's always been a rivalry between them two. So, but we're excited for every game, and we want to be able to get better, you know.
All right, and in that district, of course, we need to do a little bit more to get back to the playoffs. You know what I mean? What do you think it's going to take this year for this group of guys to take that next step?
Like I said earlier, we guys got to get better every game. We got a lot of young guys stepping into the role, some new roles, and on Friday night, and we have a lot of young guys stepping into the varsity roles. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, stay injury free. Yeah. You know, avoid the injuries, and you know, we're going to be banged up. It's a very physical preseason, so we got to be able to step into district, you know, healthy, and hopefully we just take it game by game and see what happens.
And we've talked about the young guys a lot. Like, who's still here? Like, who's going to be a senior this year that you expect to?
You know, we got in Cortez. He's one of the running backs from last year. We got Wyatt Henry. He's a senior as well, and we got Adrian Flores, who's one of our receivers. Man, the kids are gonna get mad because I'm gonna forget some of their names. Our safeties, we got our safeties that are back. I can't think of his name, but we got a lot of kids coming back, man. So we're, as far as the skill position going. So we're excited, you know, and I think they can lead our team, you know, positively. They've been here all summer, so hopefully we can just the kids can ride their coattails and just, you know, get better.
All right, Coach, and we also have been asking pretty much every single coach this summer, but this one's a little bit more personal to you. But of course, you've been here for a couple of years now. You've been here for several years now, you know. But what has coaching at Lakeview meant to you personally, and what has the Lakeview community done for you in just your professional life?
Just, you know, very close-knit community. You know, when they say the North Side Pride, I mean, it's something special. You know, that you know, when they say that, you understand what it means. You get a lot of support, you know, from the fans, and our kids are extremely hard workers. You know, in the classroom, off the field, on the court, on the baseball field, wherever they're playing, they give it their best. And sometimes, you know, we understand that, you know, the things that are stacked against us, but they don't shy away, and that's good. That's a good attribute to have, you know, going into the real world when they get out of here. They understand that they can't give up. Just keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm. And then this is the one that I always ask, but I usually go with who do you model your coaching philosophy after? Like, who do you credit most of your coaching decisions to?
Man, there's multiple coaches throughout my career that, you know, that you look up to. You know, I had some good mentors when I started coaching. You know, Coach Scroggins, Coach Fullerton. We had a lot of guys that, you know, that were in the profession before I was, and they just kind of helped you out. And there's not really one particular coach. You know, I think they had, you know, as far as, this is like being in high school. There's a coach that kids get motivated by, and there's, in coaching world, there's coaches that you grew up with or saw on TV or whatnot, and the same thing. You know, you just kind of gather pieces and information from each one of them.
And finally, this is the portion where we just hand it over to you. Say something just to get the community ready for Lakeview football this year.
I like to say the kids are working hard. Come out and support the kids. We're excited for the 2023 season. Our kids are going to put on a good show, and hopefully, we're in a position to win ball games at the end, and we're ready to, to get to work on July 31st. So come out, support the kids.
All right. And again, this has been head coach of the Lakeview Chiefs, Coach Hector Guevara, and COVER1's tour across Concho Valley. Back to y'all.
Our job is about so much more than cleaning floors. It's about personal investment.
Sometimes it's just taking the time to listen and show you care.
When you make the effort to connect, you realize we're all on the same team.
Even the smallest of efforts can make a big impact.
At Carpet Tech, serving is always personal.
All of the COVER1 crew, including myself, have high expectations for the Lakeview Chiefs this year. Last year started 3-0 and then kind of struggled to get it going past that. But I think this year might be a year where we could be seeing a Lakeview Chief playoff game. Let's just hope. You have to tune into the COVER1 show on Friday nights during football season to find out. This is Live Daily News. We're here every weekday during the 4 o'clock hour. We're going to be giving you all the news that's going on today and, of course, an interesting interview to get you through. For everyone here at the San Angelo Live team, I'm Matt Trammell. We will see you guys tomorrow.